Hi guys, and welcome to Samsung Now. Samsung Now is where we look at all things Samsung, all things tech, all things gaming, and everything in between. And a good part of that in between is of course 4K movies. Today we're going to be reviewing Hacksaw Ridge. Another great movie. I won't beat around the bush. You need to buy this movie, okay? But I'll explain why. First of all, it stars Andrew Garfield and Sam Worthington. Garfield basically plays Army medic Desmond T. Doss, which sounds like Dawes in the movie. Probably is, but it's actually Doss. And it's based on a true story of a conscientious objector who signs up to join the army, but refuses to hold or even fire a weapon. But all he wants to do is sort of his religious beliefs and everything that's led him to that point just make him want to protect people and look after people. And he believes that he can help people in the war effort by saving their lives, but he can do that with actually out having to fire a weapon. And a good part of the movie is sort of that struggle that he has when he has joined the army, in terms of that he refuses to do that. And there's this whole sort of power struggle with him and his sergeant and his captain, which is played by Sam Worthington. This sort of interplay that both of them work out between, and it's a great movie, not only because it's true and it's well told, but how Garfield acts in this movie. And I've never been a big fan of his, but he really surpasses himself in this movie. You believe he is Desmond T. Doss in this movie, and he plays it very well, very subtly. He's got the accent, he's got everything. He plays it so well, and the pacing of the story is well matched, because they build that Mel Gibson, the director, gives the film enough time for you to build a connection with Desmond and his wife, or his wife to be, and then his wife, and the other characters more so. You know, there's a real sense of the delivery is of a lot of the acting, especially with who was it? There was Hugo Weaving as Tom Doss, who's his father. There's some really gripping, heartfelt, emotional moments that they're just so believable. And they're so well done and so well written and acted and played by everyone involved, that it becomes such a believable part. And you kind of don't want Garfield to go out. You don't want him to go out to war. But he's intent on this, and he's intent on his path, and his belief that he doesn't have to fire a weapon. And there's a lot of skepticism, and there's a whole legal battle, and eventually he's out there and he does this incredible thing. And you know, just how it's all directed and staged is that you begin to care for not only Garfield but also his other men that are out there too. And ultimately, you know, things happen, and you know, he saves, and you know, obviously there's no surprise in the story, but he saves so many people, and how that's portrayed and shown is both gripping and visceral, and is done with, you know, a sense that there's a bit. It's probably, you know, there are times where you think, you know, did that really happen? But as you learn in the slight documentary that's after it, there are things that did happen that are portrayed in the movie. And it's just so well done and so well paced, and you get a lot of respect for the man that Garfield is portraying. Overall, you know, it's a well-paced, well-written, well-directed movie. You're kept involved in the movie. You become very involved in the characters, and they're very believable, obviously, because it's a true story, based on a true story. But how they've depicted it is, it feels very true to how it possibly would have been, and it's done with an awful lot of respect. And I'm not a very big Mel Gibson fan, but he's done an exceptional job with this movie. The emotions and the dialogue, you know, it's gritty, it's emotional at times, it's heartfelt and warm, and you know, there's a real sense of character and story in it that you become very involved with. The actual setting of the movie is great. They've used scale, and they've not gone overboard with how, you know, with sort of how some of these movies are. War movies tend to be just too much explosions, too much all the time, and there is a huge fighting scene in this, obviously, but you know, overall they've done it really well, and it's not too much. In terms of the whole Atmos thing, just on the sound front, they've used that very well, you know, in terms of how the munitions are firing over you. There's a real sense of scale and height with that. Thoroughly recommend watching the extras in the movie too, and as to the story of Desmond T. Doss, and what an amazing man he was, an amazing humble man too. And you can see why this story needs to be told, because he was an amazing character, thrusted into some god-awful war and event that other people just would have probably run from, but he didn't. You know, he had such strong conviction that this drove him on and on and on to go out and protect and save people's lives, and it's incredibly well told. And probably not a fraction on what really happened and the horror as to what really happened, but it's really well done. It's the HD version is pretty good too. As ever with those, you're not going to get as much detail as you would with 4K or HDR, but they've done a decent job. It's well worth buying on that front if you just have a HD TV and a Blu-ray player. The extras are pretty decent too, you know, as I mentioned, the making of, in terms of the story of Desmond T. Doss, and that's well worth watching. But yeah, it's better than Saving Private Ryan. With Private Ryan, I didn't give a crap about bloody Private Ryan. You know, I never felt invested in him as a character, but with Desmond T. Doss and the other characters in the movie, you feel invested, you feel that you want them to survive, you want them to get through it. Whereas Saving Private Ryan, just, it's not a patch on this. This is a great movie. It's probably, to me, one of the best war movies that I've seen. And I'm not a big fan of war movies. So if you want a movie to add to your collection, go buy this movie now. Okay guys, got more reviews being added and more things obviously to do with the channel. Hope you like these reviews. I'm trying to get better at them. I realized, you know, there's probably better reviews on YouTube and on the TV, but you know, I hope that my view of this movie and all the others sort of make you think about buying this movie or going to see it at the very least. Okay guys, that's that review done, and I will see you in another 4K movie review and other videos, unboxings, reviews, chat, discussion and things on my channel. Okay guys, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and if you're commenting, don't give the story away, but it's kind of obvious with this one. Okay, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.